Okay, so this is my first um, glance at Paula. I'm going to basically import only her 0 degree angle inside of Crazytalk Animator, just for the sole purpose of making sure her body is aligned the way that I want it to be, as well as I want to make sure if there's any changes to design for whatever reason, before I get all the way into having this character fully imported in, I want to make sure they're identified and resolved, so that way when I go to import all of the rest of the views, I know exactly what to expect. So I just imported her in, and this is her without any joint masking done at all. Um, what I would like to first see is which layers will be the main ones I work with. In this case, between the upper torso and lower torso, which one will be in front. So based off of her design, this particular character is designed to have the lower torso in the front. And it's mainly because of this scarf right here. You want that one showing at all times, which means the upper torso needs to always be in the back. Now, what I can already tell I need to do is I'm going to need to design a curve to go under her upper torso. What I mean by that is right here, because I have her upper torso cut off, if you're rotating her from any other angle, you don't have that extra curve that you need to go around her body. So when I go back, I would draw a nice round curve that will go, it will wrap around basically her lower torso. And now when you see her rotate, you'll see her purple shirt show throughout, and it just look like she's stretching. So I will make that modification to all of her views and make sure I add that in. The next thing is I just want to check out to functionality. So I've already converted her in her front view to be treated like a G2 character. So what it basically does is say, hey, I'm going to duplicate all of these sprites in every single view so that when she rotates, it puts the arms and stuff where it thinks it will be at if the character was rotating with all of the views drawn. What this lets me do is just test her out better, especially doing a full calibration. I can kind of already see how her body will look when it's calibrated. It also lets her walk and behave more normal, because Relution constantly swaps out sprites. You want to make sure that if everything is in its right place, it will look correctly. And the only thing that's not in its right place right now is, of course, the hands, which is fine because I just popped them on anyway just to get an idea of how she would look. But she walks and behaves greatly. So her joints did line up really good. Um, the next thing I want to look at is just the masking. Sometimes, depending on the design of your character, you would need to remove that top outline that shapes that particular sprite. So in this case, I'm looking at the leg, and no matter what, that leg line is showing. So what I would do is, let's go back to the one I imported in, just to the front view. I would drill down till I get to her leg, and then basically using the eraser tool, I would take off just the outline and keep everything else intact. So the next time when I import her in, I won't have any problems with the joint masking in that area. And when she switches sprites, you'll never see those lines pop up. Sometimes they should be there and sometimes they should not be there. So I see that I will probably end up doing the same thing for the lower part of her leg where the leg and the foot meets. And I'm still trying to figure out the adjustment I will make for her arm. I will more than likely just remove the curve that goes right here so that you see only straight through to her forearm, which is by design supposed to be behind her arm. So overall, she looks great, and since she is a G2 character, I'm gonna go ahead and take the hands off. I just want to test her animation and on the stage and to see the different things she can do. Let's get it back to a default. And I see her walk more like a, oh, not what I was expecting. This is the one I was expecting. And she looks very cute. There's more of a female walk here. So definitely she has her body is rigged up the way it's supposed to be. And some of these will not show correctly simply because all the views are not in its place. This is just to get an idea of what to expect. And she looks great. She looks absolutely great. So as you can see, all of her views have been done. What you see right now, the reason why some of them look weird, like for example her ear in front of her face, is because I have each body part on its own layer, and that just helps me treat them all as fast as possible. But when I do the final import, they will be saved all on the same layer, and then from there I will identify which body parts should be in front of each other. So for example, if I wanted this in front of the upper torso or behind it, I would do all the layering for all the views at once, because by then all the pivots will already be in the spot that I want them at. I'm just simply modifying which body parts is going to be in front of each other. So I think we're almost done with the whole body rigging. You can see that all the views are done. And since she is not, it was actually 10 complete views I needed to draw up for her because she's not completely symmetrical. Meaning because she has this belt around her chest, the scarf on one side of her leg. When you draw the other views, you still need to make sure that belt is still going at the same angle. And I guess a more clearer picture would be use a little bit more cleaner so that you can see it. So her body is still rotating with the belt at the exact same angle. Same thing goes with her hair design. She has more hair on her right side of her face, so naturally that same side should maintain its look. It shouldn't look like this one here. It should look like the one that has more hair on the side. So I think everything looks great. You can see her top and bottom view is done, which they always look weird until you put everything in place, and then it makes perfect sense. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the drawing board a little bit and tweak her upper torso. I'm going to go ahead and clean up the lines that's on her thighs and leg and foot. And this is the way I would like her arm to look when it's done. Right now what you're seeing is this ball that's right here. If it wants to show, there you go. So what you're seeing is this ball right here that would have completed the upper arm. So more than likely I would end up cutting this piece off, so when you view the character, it looks more like this, seamless. So I hope you're pleased with how your character looks thus far. Once the body is all done and everything is in its place, I will begin to focus on just this area, which is working on her different eye sprites, mouth sprites, eyebrow sprites, just trying to see what kind of emotions we can give Paula to bring her out. And I would say right now we're probably 65 to 70% complete with the character, because the hardest part is the body. The rest of these parts are very minor. Creating a closed eye or open eye is not as challenging as trying to nail how she would look at different angles. So I will go ahead and send you this update, and I will continue working on it, and I hope to have some sort of new video or progress to you soon regarding Paula. Okay? Take care.